Just like that, I'm back. Ah, feels good. Feels good. All right. All right, we've had plenty of talk. Obviously, if you guys will still want to talk and discuss this, we can do that. But we should probably play some Lightseekers while we discuss it. What do you say? Oh, it was a full can. Woo! Almost spilled a little bit on me. All right. So, insects. First of all, please pay fusion. This little button right here, this little button should be auto off. Your standard mode does not allow legacy cards. You should not have to turn the legacy cards off to go into standard build. That button should be auto off. I don't know why it isn't. It should be in the next patch. Please. All right, but nope, wrong card. There we go. Mantic's Hive Guard is an amazing card, I feel. It's a great insect card. If your opponent attacks you, or no, when your opponent draws a card, you restart it. So it's another just constant buff, which is what insects really are doing so annoyingly. And then Treebark Hive, when any of your insectoid buffs are about to be removed, heal for 3 and move one of your insectoid cards, and move one insectoid card from your deck to your hand. Now, I did hear someone say this should be like a buff, not a card. If it is, then cool. I don't know. Otherwise, like, Treebark Hive, that's just value. If you have 2 of them, you heal for 6, and you move 2 insect cards every time one of them gets removed. That's just insane value to me. Insane value. Swamp Guide, it's card draw for nature, which is good. We may want to include this. Actually, yeah, I'll include it because it's card draw. You get to draw 2 cards, put one at the bottom of the deck. And if it's an insect card, you get to put it in your hand later. Like, these nature cards are all really good. They're all really well defined. And they all fit. They don't feel overpowered because these two, obviously, this one is just a generically good card. Not a whole lot of value, but just a generically good card. This one is insane in an insect deck. You're not going to run it in every deck. And this one pretty much fits the niche of where Tree Sprout used to live. It's good. I like all these nature cards. I don't like the hero. I like all the nature cards, though. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build ourselves a fancy and fun-free insect deck. Obviously some infected wasps. I love the Leafweb Wanderer. I think that's great. Feasting Skeetos is amazing. Actually, Leafweb Wanderer works with attack cards. Oh, it was a typo on the effect on the card? There's nothing wrong with the card. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. I thought there was something wrong with the card. But Leafweb Wanderer works with attack cards. So it might actually not work that well in our insect buff deck that we're running. It's great for card draw, but that's why we're running the Swamp Guide. That's why we're running the Swamp Guide over the Leafweb Wanderer. I do like the Mantic's Hatchlings. I think those are amazing. Spectromantics. Maybe. Let's see, we have 18 insects in our deck now. Or no, we have what? 12 insects in our deck. Mantic's Tunnel is really good, and it is a buff. I do like that. I do like that one. So now we can stop looking for insects. With Treebark Hive, we don't really need Egg Chamber. You found a picture of the typo. Oh, awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Oh, I see. That's where it says buff instead of card. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. So... Sorry. I got an email notification. I have to check it out real quick. Okay. So it was about yesterday. The email just got to me really late. So. What other cards do we really need in here? Moss Ridge Defender feels like it could be fine. Obviously Reckless Spirit because, hey, it's an auto-include. Cards should not be auto-include. It really shouldn't be. They really shouldn't be. But they are, and that's what we have. I feel like Moss Ridge Defender is just going to be a good one for some damage prevention. I feel like Stumpdrift Shaman could be good for healing. I do like Spinebark Forager. I do like Spinebark Forager in here. Because not a lot of people are going to be running insects the way that we are. Now, let's get our hero that we want. The hero... There's 3 insect-based heroes. You have the card that returns cards to hand. Which one? Which one are you talking about? There's a lot of cards that return cards to hand. Soil Tunneler. Oh! Okay, yeah, Soil Tunneler. I could include Soil Tunneler in this deck. I could. As it is an insect card, that's awesome, too. And it doesn't rely on my opponent having the same family. So maybe I do run Soil Tunneler over the Spinebark Forager. So we'll do that. But here's the thing. Do we run Hivebark or Hive Queen Axie? I'm still like on the fence of how Hive King Ixa is. I feel like he's probably good, especially with my opponents like making sure their hand size is low, where Hive Queen Axie is just not a thing. But a lot of people are doing damage in like the 5 or below range right now, unless it's a combo. And I don't know. It's just what do I do here? What do I do here? I think I do like Hivebark. It's really weird. Hivebark is probably the better, more consistent valued one in this. Whereas these two are very reliant on my opponent. Whereas this one I get to control myself. And I know nature's one of their aesthetics is, basing stuff on how your opponent is doing. But that is so unreliable. That is so unreliable that literally half the time your hero power is just doing nothing. It's doing nothing. That I feel like Hivebark is probably the better one and more consistent to just run. Now, with that being the case, Territorial Dominance is just amazing. I want to say Stampede. We're going to try Stampede. Obviously, Hive Mind is awesome as well. Spirit Walk is going to be really good. Because you can just pay for a lot of things. Camouflage is nice. I kind of want to add in Bane Bloom here too. Do I ever take Stampede out for Bane Bloom? I feel like I have enough card draw in like Swamp Guide and Soil Tunneler for Recursion that I might not need it. I also got to add in the 2 Soil Tunnelers. I have to add in my 2 Soil Tunnelers here. Trying to think. Because I might want to add in another Stumpdrift Shaman for just healing. Because right now I have some defense, some healing. It all depends on how aggressive this deck is going to be. I guess I do have Feasting Skeetos that could be 3 healing too. So maybe I'm fine. And with Stampede, I actually do want to run Bane Bloom. There's not a whole lot of like one-ofs, because you can't play the same card more than twice in a turn. That I think Bane Bloom is just better value and easier to run. You know, with like Spirit Walk and all this stuff that's coming in. Beast Within is just a really good card. Do I run Beast Within over Spirit Walk? I think I do, actually. Because my hero ability is essentially Spirit Walk. And I'll never be able to need to run Spirit Walk with my hero ability. So I think Beast Within helps me pay for Hive Mind, helps me pay for Territorial Dominance, pay for everything, and it's just a really good combo if I can get it off. But yeah, in this one, we're building an Insect archetype with all of the new cards. Because we have our card draw in here. We have Treebark Hive, which is insane value for insects. You don't run this in every other deck, you run it in insects. This is where that power level needs to be, is in the family archetype. And then Mantic's Hive Guard is just a consistent card. It's a consistently well-good card. As long as your opponent's drawing cards, restart it. And it actually makes me want to have, it makes me want to run Hive Queen, Ashwood Diva. Not necessarily. What I feel like we could do, and we're probably going to do this later, is, actually I'll just try and build it now so I'm not talking about it. What we could do, turn Legacy off, it should be auto off, is build a really fun Zelina Bloodroot deck. You want to know why? Because Zelina Bloodroot also has access to the roaming zombies, where my opponent is drawing cards. It has access to Stalking Sipid, where my opponent is going to draw cards. Carabid Scavengers, which is an insect, mind you. Corpse Crawler is a nice insect as well. Right now I'm just trying to add weird stuff in. But in this, we can then include the Mantic's Hive Guards. Because my opponent is going to be drawing cards. Then it restarts the buff, right? It restarts it. In Soul, We can include... Isn't adding weird stuff in part of your MO? You know it is, Wrangler. Oh, I'm so good at adding in weird and bodacious things like that. We can add in the Ashwood Divas for a card draw. And I think with it, Feasting Skeetos, because, you know, it is an insect attack card. Why not? Obviously, Reckless Spirit. What else an animal does it have? Infected Veg? Was that a soul? Was Infected Veg soul? Yeah, we could have Infected Veg. If we are going full on their hand size, yes. Yes. Corpse Crawler is one that I'm not too sure about. It's just in there. Stockjaw? Yeah. And actually, Spectral Mantics could just be annoying too. Because with Stalking Sipit, if they're drawing cards, it'll heal me, and Spectral Mantics just gets restarted. Like, Zelina could just be a really annoying insect deck. She could just be a really annoying insect deck. Spineback Stockjaw. I want to get good defend cards for Carabid Scavenger. Because right now the only ones that are in here are Ashwood Divas. Spirit of Bounce. That's the thing. It's like Spirit of Bounce could be good. Sipit Spawner could be fine. Rocket Star, if you're willing to share it, I'm more than happy. Post it in here, man. Post it in here. Actually, Spinebark Forager could be really good. Because we can return, with Roaming Zombie out, we could return Reckless Spirit as an undead and get more buff removal. Or we could just return our insect cards. And it's a defend that we can put under Carabid Scavenger. Just be great. And with Infected Veg, we can return Ashwood Divas. So I feel like Spinebark Forager is actually pretty good. And like I said, and it's a defend card that we can run really well. I do like Spirit of Balance. I feel like Spirit of Balance is going to be good. I really do. It's an undead card, so we can bring it back. Yeah, no, yeah, it's looks like a lot of fun. Part of me also wants to, like, include the Sipit Spawner to just mill some of their cards. And with how much Graveyard Recursion I could have in this, having Sipit Spawner just be really good. Like, it's an insect card that mills. Like, it could be a lot of fun. Where, like, I hurt them by drawing, by making them mill. I don't think I need to go fully on infected veg. I don't think I do. Or feasting Skeetos. I think, yeah, if I add in 2 Sipid spawners, really just mill them and maybe even mill me, but I can get my cards back really easily. We can do that. Maybe include a 3rd Spinebark Forager. Because, yeah, Sacred Mausoleum sounds like fun, too. To just have, like, 1 or 2 of those with the roaming zombie, so it catches it and puts it back into play. But I really don't have a whole lot of healing in here. Well, I guess with Stalking Sipid, Carabid Scavenger I do. I just don't have a lot of damage prevention. And this feels like more of a long con type of deck. Skeletal Ward would add healing. Skeletal Ward? Which one is that? The combo. Oh, you're right. I keep forgetting about my combos. Yeah, Skeletal Ward. I feel like Spirit Barrage is a great one in this, because they're discarding cards from their hand. So, like, I'm making them draw them, then I'm making them discard them. Could be a lot of fun. We could include Restoring the Echoes. I don't think we need to, though. What other combos can we get from nature? Bane Bloom is amazing. Call the Wild would be good, but we don't have any beast. Well, I guess we do have foragers, and that's it. Soul Song, Spirit Walk. Does Invigorate work? No, Invigorate's Forest. You're right, Soul Song does not work. So we could have Beast Control in here, or Spiritual Turmoil, and I think Spiritual Turmoil is probably the better one. You are absolutely right. Good catch, Mud. So what are we sitting on? Not a whole lot of animal. But our animal is, what, Graveyard Recursion. Buffs that we actually want to put out. And Feasting Skeetos, which is healing. I feel like the Hive Guards are going to be good. Let's add in another Hive Guard. Because if we can just get our opponent to keep drawing cards, and that just stays out on board and becomes just an annoyance to him. Summer Shack, I've been playing the game for 2 years. I have accumulated quite the card collection. I'll just go ahead and show this. This is my only My only pride and joy. And I'm right here at number 1. Because I have so many cards scanned in. The only person below me is Mud Turtle himself and Benny, the co-creator of the game. I've literally scanned every single one of my cards in to the game. So, that is how I have so many copies. So, yeah, like I said, I've invested in this game, and I want to see it grow, and it's all the feedback I'm giving is not like me being upset with PlayFusion. It's not me being like, oh, I hate them so much. No, it's me looking at the game, seeing its potential, and just giving my input of what I think would help the game. What I think they can do for the next step further. Question is, do we really need 3 Ashwood Divas? Could we just run 2? And yes, you need 3. All right. You've sold me on it, Mud. You've sold me. So okay, yeah, because with Roaming Zombie, it is like a core card here. It's what the deck is based around. You're probably right. You are probably right. So yeah, just with constant damage. All right, I want to test this, not against players. I want to test it against some AIs first, just to see how it works. Because I do feel like this deck needs some refining before it goes on to the drawing board. But the Hive Guard is really fun. And that's really what we're doing with the Hive Guard, is we're getting them to draw cards and having the Hive Guard be potential, just constant damage out there. Look at that. Wow, okay. So let's see what happens. Okay. Works for me. Works for me. I want to do this. I'm going to put the deck in your Discord since the new cards aren't in the database. Do it, man. Do it to it. Wow, okay. So here's the beauty of it. Here's the beauty of this. I have no cards in my discard pile. So I don't mill, but my opponent mills 1. Oh, it feels good to hit that. I feel like that's fine to do. Obviously, the Roaming Zombie, I can't Ashwood Diva with it. But I needed the heal. I'm going against a very aggressive deck. Plaguebringer? That's rude. I want to lay a Hive Guard, but at the same time, I'm going to need him to draw. And I also need to draw cards too. These are amazing. I can bring back a Carabid Scavenger with the Spinebark Forager. I can't attack. Okay. I only get one action too. He doesn't have any insects in here, right? No, okay, good. Because now, if anything, I can lay Spirit Barrage. Okay, there's a bit of a misplay by the computer. Gonna put that out there right now. But I do think these are great to have. Because if he's discarding cards, he has to then draw cards. That's how I feel about it. I don't have a whole lot of healing, but I mean, yeah, just get the damage on board, I suppose. So, the Mantix Weavers, I don't see being that good. I think we can replace the Weaver, or these, the Spectral Mantics. We can get rid of the Mantixes, because those didn't feel like they were very conditional restarting, whereas this deck is around my opponent drawing cards. And this is why we test. This is why we test. Corpse Crawler. I like Corpse Crawler. Corpse Crawler over Stalking Sipid. Yeah, the veg, I feel the veg we can do better. I feel with that, we can add in some Corpse Crawlers. Oh, Summer Shack, thank you very much. I should be updating my deck list. I do apologize for that. Yes, that was from Monday. That was the one from Monday. Let me, for right now, I'll hide it until I get this all taken care of. You put tree bark in it by mistake? Oh, Tree Bark Hive. Gotcha. Yeah, because that's a forest card. Yeah, I can see that. So we can add in 2 more cards. Do we just add in Wall of Bones, or do we add in maybe 2 Sacred Mausoleums to help with the roaming zombie to keep that out, or do we want something else? Yeah, Spirit of Balance is so nice. It's so nice. Another Crawler. Crawler's not bad. It's not bad at all. Man, like, part of me... Soil tunnelers. Do I not have soil tunnelers in here? I don't. I don't have soil tunnelers in here. To work with Spinebark Forgers. Yeah, we could just be like a major graveyard recursion style of deck. Ooh, part of me says take Feasting Skeetos out. But no, because if they're getting large hand sizes... Well, no, because we have a lot more hand healing now. Part of me says take Feasting Skeetos out and add in Wall of Bones for damage prevention. Because we're going to have... Pretty much, we want more undead buffs on the board so that Soil Tunneler can hit them easier to bring back the roaming zombies. That feels like what we want to do. Wall of Bones just helps us stay alive to get to that point. Or, ooh, I'm loving this. Or Graveyard. Mud. When you come up with the best solutions, you indeed come up with the best solutions. Oh, Graveyard feels so good. That'll make the roaming zombie hit for more. That'll make the corpse crawler hit for more. That'll make my stalking Sipid heal for more. I feel like I only need 2 Carabid Scavengers and I just want Graveyards. They work so much better in all my stuff. Graveyard is also another one that I feel is fine for a core set, just like the Heap, because it only affects this one element of buffs. It only affects the one element of buffs. Oh. So, okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I could run, like, Tombstone Carvers in here. Man, now we're getting way off track of running the new nature cards, right? Because now all I want to do... Like, this just feels more consistent. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this deck. And I'll tell you what... What did I have? Draw it up? Yeah. Carvers never work. Mud, how do you know what I'm talking about? How do you know what I'm talking about? Because when they're moved to the grave, they're moved to the discard pile, right? So we just move 3 of these. We put in like 2 of those. Actually, can't go Carabid Scavengers. 3 of those. And then we add in the Leaf Spine Hunters. We add in the Leaf Spine Hunters. And we become more of a mill. We become more of a mill. It's going to be bad, but I want to try it. Because with Ashwood, well, we need... Okay, we can take Corpse Crawlers out. Add in a 3rd Sipid Spawner. Because if we're going full mill, we're going full mill. And then I think... Okay. I do feel like we need some damage prevention because we're going to be filling my opponent's hand and just messing with him the whole time. I don't even think I want Spirit Walk. No, I want Spiritual Turmoil. Because that's a combo that could potentially just keep being reused. So essentially, Leafspine Hunter attacks the top of the deck, so we get to look at it. Caribid Spawn or Civet Spawner mills us both. But I have Spinebark Forager and Soil Tunneler to start bringing stuff back. It's the hand that I won't have anything from, which makes me want to add in Crushing Charger. Over like, in all honesty, over like Spirit of Balance. Makes me want to add in Crushing Charger into this. Like 2 of them. We'll put 1 Crushing Charger in just to see how many times I actually, like, if it works. Now we're going full meme. Now we're going full meme. Alright. It's probably never going to work. Probably not in 100 million years. But you know what? If it does... we're freaking geniuses. Work or not, the fun is in the design. You know it. You absolutely know it. Mudthrow says good luck. Mud, you need to have faith. You need to have faith in this. This is no way at all a tier 1 deck or even a tier 3. You got faith it won't work? That's what I like to hear. That is exactly what I like to hear. All right. Now the deck list needs to get changed because for some reason it just doesn't auto load, which is dumb. Do this. All right. Look at that. The beauty is in the deck list. Alright, we are going to simply attack the deck. We're going to attack the deck. I don't think this has any new cards. I don't think it has any new cards in the list at all. But I want to see if it works before we go back to the old one. I want to see if it works. We'll play this for like 1 game. For 1 game. Then we'll go back to the Zelina. And just build a consistent insect-type deck. Then afterwards, we'll go back to our nature deck that we were playing in the first place, that we wanted to play. I need to see if it works. I need to see. I need to know. I don't know what he's playing yet, so I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't know what he's playing yet. Elementals? Really? That's one you want to remove, huh? Okay, okay. I feel like he's playing Poison. Beast is also a good one to choose, too. We'll try Beast. We'll try Beast. Actually, no, we'll shoot Elemental. Because there's a lot of undead elementals in here, too. Oh! Oh! God, I'm so good! Look at me milling those cards. Look at me milling those cards. Feels dirty, doesn't it? Just feels so dirty. Then I'll pass. Helps when you know the deck. I don't know what the deck is. I didn't, because it's all random. I thought it could have been undead, it could have been beasts. But yeah, it really does help when you know the deck. I'm gonna make him take 4 damage. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna heal for another 3. Things are looking up for me. Mm-hmm. Alright. Alright. There's still only so much undead I can get back with Soil Tunneler. Or, Death. That Shade gonna draw 2 on zombie? Mm-hmm. You know it is. You know it is. You know what everyone does? Everyone draws cards, man. Everyone draws cards. There's nothing they can do about it. Feels good. So that's going to go and that's going to go. If he has a Shadow Puppet, he's got a Shadow Puppet. But I need to play to my outs. So he's going to draw 2. Feels good. Feels so good. I'll heal for 6. Oh, these Stalking Sipids are busted. Okay, Lurking Horror. Okay, bit of annoyance. There's a Shadow Puppet. Okay. Okay. I figured I'd overextended. I knew it. I knew I would. Should have waited a little bit. That was my own. I was getting greedy. But another Roaming Zombie is just exactly what the doctor ordered. Toxic Frog, okay. And a Corvidus Shade. So I'm going to take 5 for removing the Toxic Frog. I don't need to remove it yet, though. What's his ability? That's damage prevention. That's right. Oh, okay. That's not a bad ability. So it feels kind of off. But that one's just going to blow me out of the water. Okay. And have a good turn next turn. I can return undead, and he can return an undead, which will just really be bad for me. So I think I'll pass. Spirit Barrage is nice. So essentially, The deck didn't work with the milling or the discard. It worked with the roaming zombie, which is exactly what our previous deck did so well. He moves them. He moves them. He moves them to the deck. But essentially, roaming zombie is the all-star, is what we've learned. And draw a card for combo. Roaming zombie. Everyone draws cards, man. Everyone draws cards. Okay. So that deck, we figured it out, but it's like meh compared to our other one, which is draw it up. So this one does run the Mantic's Hive Guards, because if they're drawing cards, Hive Guard is just consistent damage. Feels good. I do like your insect deck, Rocket Star. I do like it a lot. So I think with this, yours does feel a lot more consistent because it runs like Insect Swarm and Mantics, Hatchlings, and all that stuff. How did it go? Crushed it. I didn't draw a single Carver and killed him with Roaming Zombie, so I realized the only thing the deck needs is Roaming Zombie. Carver's not that effective. Really isn't. But yeah, Roaming Zombie, amazing. Incredible card. We're loving it. Yeah, the Carver, I didn't draw a single Carver and I killed him before that time. So. Wonder who told. I have no idea, Mud. If you can find them, let them know that I appreciate their feedback. Okay. And with this, once again, Spirit Walk is not what I want. It's actually the other undead combo. The Rigor Mortis, I feel is going to be great. Because we just have a lot of undead. We just have a lot of undead. Yeah, especially like if we can, man, if we can get cards like under Sip and Spawner, be so good. Be so good. Or Sip and Spawner under Rigor Mortis. Store him under there. I feel like Crushing Charger would be nice for the Sip and Spawner, but we're making them draw cards more than trying to mill them. So Sip and Spawner we don't necessarily need. As much as I love it, we don't need it. That might be at where we add in the Wall of Bones. There it is. I was like, what's happening? So Spirit of Balance is nice. Spinebark Forager and Soil Tunneler helps us get our cards back. But I feel like we're not being very aggressive with anything. The only real aggression we have is like Corpse Crawler and Mantic's Hive Guard. Roaming Zombie, I guess, too. But is that really enough? Like, as much as I love Spirit of Balance, I think we can do better. I think we can do better than Spirit of Balance. However, it could just be used for buff removal, which could be potent, but at the same time could not be. Swarms? Insect swarms? We could do insect swarms. We could very well do insect swarms. Just for a buff on board. Just doing consistent damage. It is an insect. For Spinebark Forager to get back a lot of my stuff. However, now there's only 5 cards for Carabid Scavenger to pick up, which could be fine, actually. Because Carabid Scavenger we're using mostly as an insect buff out there, and if we get it to store something, kudos to us, right? Kudos to us. But yeah, Mantic's Hiveguard is just, like, so good. Such a good card. That I think with this constant pressure and everything else that we're doing, we could be fine. We're going to try it. We're going to try this. See, now's where it comes into that Spirit of Balance is just super good. And we need to put Spirit of Balance back in. And I'm just like, oh man. How are you always that good? But at least now we're running a new card. I heard a meow. There's the cat. There's the kitty. Hi. Hi. Where do you want to go? Right in front of my screen? Yep. My screen seems really good for you, doesn't it? Everyone loves you. So we'll try this. We'll try the draw it up. There you go. Just take a little nap. Right there. Just a little nap. I want to try this against, like I said, an AI. See how it runs. Before we go into making ourselves look like a fool. Yeah? You live an exhausting life, don't you? Yeah, you do. When you're napping all day, you get really tired. Do we just start with a Spirit Barrage? No, that's not for kittens. That is not for kittens. You want some of my energy drink? You're going to be bouncing off the walls. Mommy's going to be super happy about that. I think right now I just pass and let this buff do its thing. 2 Hive Guards. Okay, he's got a very large hand size. The only thing I know about nature is that their buff removal is really bad. Is he just not going to draw cards because of this? Is that what's happening? Well, I get to draw a card. Because I removed a buff, and that's what I do is Zelina. Makes me want to add more buff removal in here. Yeah, it's being very cautious about drawing cards. Very cautious. I'm actually okay just drawing. No need to overextend right now. How dare you, sir? Just a consistent basis. Yeah. I'm going against nature. They can't remove 2 buffs at a time. This will just heal me and deal. I'm fine. He's choosing the hero ability over the buff ability. That's amazing. Graveyard. So good. Oh man, a defender? You're rude. Just keep that restarted. Just keep it restarted. I don't think there's a reason to run anything out yet. I'm fine with this. This is more interactive. I feel like Rigor Mortis is one of those later game cards. Because if they waste all their buff removal, Rigor Mortis is just a really good heal. Ooh, roaming zombie with Ashwood Diva. Okay, okay. See what happens. Let's see what happens. How dare you? Once again, you shouldn't be able to interact with combo buffs like that. Really shouldn't. That's a retired card for a reason. Yeah, we win. Okay. So the deck worked pretty well. It's not going against more refined decks like the meta is right now. But I didn't see a problem with the list. I didn't see cards that I was like, oh, I shouldn't run this card. It didn't work that well. Everything seemed to work pretty fine in what I wanted it to do. We want to get to the point where we're winning on a consistent basis. And I think Mantic's Hiveguard right now is just really good against a lot of other decks right now that are using the abilities to draw cards. Our downfall is the simple fact that we have very minimal buff removal. Which may be where we want to add back in the, want to try it versus Ferris? Oh, God. Oh, God. We can try. I feel like the Foragers, we didn't need it. We didn't need the Foragers. We didn't need to bring back things. That's where we can add in maybe Spirit of Balance. Because I do want buff removal. In another sense. Like, in all sense, do we need another soil tunnel or two? Maybe I like Soil Tunneler because it can bring back the roaming zombies later in the game without my opponent getting haywire. But yeah, we just need more control. We need more control. Mud, I'm a-okay trying it against your deck. It's because this is a very unconventional deck. It doesn't really go for, like, you know, attacking you or defending. It's like it hurts you based on what you do, is what this deck does. Yeah, it just struggles with buff removal, is what it does. It struggles with buff removal incredibly. But with its just consistent board, its board should be winning the game. And with Soil Tunnelers to bring back cards like Roaming Zombie, Stalking Sipid, all these other things, should be fine. I actually didn't care too much for those. That's one thing I am going to change. I'm going to put in a Corpse Crawler. I feel like Corpse Crawler was a lot more helpful. And I'm going to put in a third Insect Swarm. Yeah. Like, I could put in Lush Lost Behemoth to make my opponent draw cards, but I feel like they're drawing enough on their own, and Ashwood Diva's drawing enough on their own. I don't need another card giving my opponent that much advantage. Mossfoot Shimmer Rider does seem interesting, because if they're drawing a lot of cards, then having them move cards back or take 5 damage. But I would rather just have consistent damage with Insect Swarm rather than a Mossfoot Shimmer Rider in this deck. There's a new patch? Really? Really? Alright. But yeah, Shimmer Rider's an interesting one, because I could include it in this deck over, like, the Insect Swarm. But I just want more consistent damage overall, is what I want. Like I said, consistency is what works, and just having Insect Swarm sit out there and possibly bait out buff removal is genius. I can also have it sit out there with Soil Tunneler to bring back the Hive Guards if I really want to. So, okay, I will exit the game and apparently update the patch. What's the patch? What are we doing on the patch? I'm intrigued. I'm going to use this point to go to the bathroom. Oh, the Alark. Really? They already changed the Alark ability. They already changed it. Did they put in a news post? I'd like to see a news post. They did. All right. If used to play a card. Mwah, beautiful. Really? Crazed Bomber was still being... Should now correctly deal damage for discarding a card, even if that discard happened due to another player rotating his buff. Venom Master should properly be protecting itself from removal as well. Good. Good. Venom Master was, like, not working right. So that's... Maybe Venom Master is now a better card now. But Alaric's Vexvane... Good. I wanna just go ahead and look at that card and be super upset because Alaric Vexvane is just ridiculous. Play one stored card without consuming an action to gain 1 additional action. That's better. That is better. Oh. I was up in ears about that. That was not how that should have been. Alright. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. The cat is taking a nap, so maybe she doesn't move, but we'll be right back. Okay, guys? cat's just looking at me like, where did you go? I'm missing my nap time in front of you. You're not paying attention to me. Oh, but alright, I'm super happy about those bug fixes. Super happy about them. Mud Turtle has challenged me. Time to accept this and show him the power of Draw It Up. Okay, right, not him. So, we'll see how this deck works. I feel it has the really nice consistent basis of its board just staying out there. It all depends on, like, proper damage reduction timing and proper buff removal timing on him. He could also just blow me out. He could just blow me out. Clutch, man. Clutch. Alright. For real. For real. I'm gonna go ahead and give him that wow. Like, you've got to be kidding me, wow. I think I'll let him draw on his own. Wall of Bones is not bad. Mud. Come on. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me here. You're welcome. You're welcome. I want to make sure that gets lined up. Now, if he uses his ability... So dirty. So dirty. You've got to be kidding me. Consistency. That's all you need is consistency. That's all you need is consistency. Because now Mud can bring back 2 elementals and have 9 damage in hand. Yeah. Yeah. Consistency wins games. And with aggro, it's just like, you've got to be kidding me right now. If he's got another Crystal Leech, and I don't want to feed him cards into Crystal Leech either. I don't want to do that. Rotate that one forward. So, you know. I'm already dead. I'm already dead. Mard's already given me the good game. He's at 29. That's weird. That's very weird. Mud, what's going on here, man? Flame Bat. Makes sense. And a Flame Burrower. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. I mean, that's it. Game over, man. Yeah. Consistency wins. Consistency wins. There you go. And I want to... Man, that was a good move. No, it's completely fine. I pretty much understood. But yeah, I want to go in here. I just want to look at the list. I know you posted in subscriber chat, so I don't want to go ahead and spoil it to everyone here. The only buffs you have in here are Cage of Oppression and Mountain Breaker. So buffs that your opponent can't interact with. Your opponent can't remove. I didn't need to see the Cage. You blew me out with enough damage. You have Inferno, Crushing Blow, and Stream of Tantos. 3 combos from Awakening that are the best ones in the game. You have Boulder Feast, Flame Bat, Crystal Leech, all from Awakening. Best in the game at what they do. You have 6 cards for card draw. Armored Informant, which was from Awakening. It got nerfed, but it's still good. And Umbrown Barkeep, which is, really good for that. Yeah, you have consistent card draw and consistent damage. The deck is really good. It's super good. Yeah, you only need to use it once. You only need to use the ability once. And that's because you're doing so much damage. You don't need it. It's just such a good deck. Yeah. It's such a good and such a consistent deck that your opponent really can't interact with anything you do. And if your deck plays out faster than your opponent's deck, you win. That's what it is. Because there's no interactivity. There's no interactivity with it. What do you mean, nope? Is the nope to the no interactivity or nope to... Yeah. There's no interactivity in that deck. Your opponent cannot interact with anything that you do. Yeah. There's 6 buffs in the whole deck. Outside of Rupture, which you use Rupture for card draw. You don't use it to make things dormant. You use it for card draw. And yeah, you hit them hard, hit them fast with your attack cards, with your elemental attack cards. It doesn't rely on a board state. As you said, it's 100% what's wrong with the game. Is that it's not interactive, but it's so effective. I mean, I love the deck. The deck design is great. But yeah, that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. All right, let's go into the library. Let's actually start working on the nature deck that I was doing before with insects to see if we have anything going on here. Could add a core. You probably could. I want to try this deck. It probably doesn't have enough healing. Turn Legacy off, please. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. So I do want to see if this works. Insect Wave 5. Because it runs 3 Hive Guards, 3 Tree Bark Hives, and 3 Swamp Guides. Pretty much all of the new cards we're running in this new deck. Ooh, that hurts, man. That hurts. Yeah, I mean, if someone outpaces you, then it's what it is. Like I said, the only way you probably win in that is if their deck works faster than yours. Because there's no interactivity. It's just your deck versus their deck. And if their deck works faster than yours, there's not much you can do about it. But let's go in. Let's try this deck out. Test it first. See what we're missing, see what we have. But yeah, dude, that Ferris deck is bonkers. It's bonkers good. And it does showcase exactly what is wrong with the game. I mean, if you're gonna draw cards, then yeah, you're gonna draw cards. And Tree Archive. Tree Archive is good. Lightseekers needs trap cards. Oh, I don't think that's right at all. Lightseekers essentially had it with like Exterior Defender and the Chimchi one that blocks defense. But I don't think it needs trap cards. That's weird. It does, I mean, it needs more interactivity, and the way to do that is your board state versus your opponent's board state, and then have attack and defense be reliant on each other's board state. That's what it should be doing. Yeah, no, I mean, it's essentially way too many corners for a generic buff. Like, this kind of thing should block, like the first damage. The first damage is fine if it's for 3 corners like this on a rotation. But there should be ways to interact with it. There really should be. So no, Mud, I am entirely with you. I like Swamp Guide here. I do like Swamp Guide. Yeah. Ooh, actually, no, I'll take this one. Because if they remove my Hive Guard goes to the bottom, I can just find it with this thing. But I can lay Hive Mind now next turn. And that just feels stupid. Know what I mean? Just feels really good. I'll do it for healing. So are you saying they should be more like mountain forts? Shield Wall too. I like Shield Wall because it only prevents attack cards. So like if you play buff, it's not that good against buffs. But I mean, I went pretty unanimously here. Just constant board damage, just consistency. That wasn't even the deck I was doing. I need to update my deck list. Yeah, this one, it's just, it's consistent. Oh, big stretch for the kitty. It was really consistent. It used all of the new cards that we got. It used all 3 of them. If buff removal is equal, yeah. Exactly, yeah. It's like the only thing that it has is that almost all of its buffs are constant. But if you look at Dread, their constant buffs are way better than mine. And they have better buff removal. But yeah, if I had better buff removal, I think this deck would be great. I think it would be phenomenal. I could put in more Loot Snatchers, but they're very conditional buff removal. They're great, but they're so terrible in comparison to everything else. Like Mantix Tunnelers, I don't even really want to keep in here. They weren't really doing anything for me. They were being very slow. And this is a very consistent just insect deck. I do like the third Feasting Skeetos. I think Feasting Skeetos is good. Moondell, in theory, should beat Dread. It should. It should. And Moondell is actually a really strong card. I love Moondell. But it has very weak buff removal, and the moment its buff removal gone, it draws cards and then out-tempos you. So you have to get advantage right away, or you're done. Because it'll draw and out-tempo you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because you can't remove their buffs faster than they can remove yours, and it just becomes a hassle. I do like Spirit of Balance. I do like Spirit of Balance. Yeah, Leafweb Wanderer would be good if we had a lot more insect attack, but right now, the best insect cards are all buffs. They really are. Especially with how just advantageous Treebark Hive is. It's just such a good one. Such a good one. Like, what I would love to do is make Sipid Queen good. Sipid Queen is a very fun and, it looks like a really fun card. But it requires you to have an empty deck. And that's almost impossible. Because you're winning, everyone is winning their games before empty deck check. Everyone is winning their games before that. That it's not good. It's really slow. Which is why I wish there was like an insect mill archetype for like pseudo mill. Because then it would be really cool. But yeah, and Leafweb Wanderer, if it said whenever you attack with an insect card, because then Mantix Tunnelers would be really good with Leafweb Wanderer. But insect attack cards, this one is always just going to deal 4 damage. You're never going to have it deal 8. Never in a million years. This is the only good one because it heals you for 3. Infected Wasp could be good. It could be good if your opponent, like if you're playing Dread and they have a wide board. But Thornleg Scuttler, like it's maybe gonna do 4. It's maybe gonna do 4. And the best and most consistent way to play insects is buffs, not attacks. Especially now with Treebark Hive. Especially now with Hive. Oh, it's so good. I think I'm fine with this rendition. 1 Spirit of Balance. And 3 Feasting Mosquitoes. Change the deck list a little bit here. Because what did I take out? I took out something. Oh, the Mantic Tunnels. I took those out, added in Mosquitoes and a Spirit of Balance. That's what I did. Because they just weren't doing... The Tunnelers weren't doing anything. They were really slow in this deck. And this deck wants to be a tempo deck. Especially with Swamp Guide. Swamp Guide it's a really good card for nature. It's really happy I got it. Hive Bark just gets your stuff back after they remove it, which makes Hive Bark the best one in my opinion. Hands down. Yeah, I think we're actually okay to try this in ranked now. Feels really weird, but we'll try it in ranked. We're going to get salty. I know we are. Because we're going to go against Abyss package with the Vex Vein. We're going to go against all these other cards. There you go, Yoshi. Hop in ranked now. How dare you? Everyone's Q sniping me. I see how it is. Nah, you would win. You're probably right. You're probably right. I will go ahead and say this. I am an average player. I stream for entertainment value, not for telling you, like, hey, this is the best decks. If I did, I'd run Mud Turtle's Ferris deck all day. I'd run the Ferris deck. I'd run High Curator Arwen. I'm not a good player. I'm an average player that knows a lot about game mechanics. That's what I'm here for. I wish certain archetypes would do better, but we need a full set rotation. We need some cards to leave for us to be more advantageous with these cards to see if they work. But yeah, right now just no one's playing. Bunsard, I just read your comment. Everyone should be supporting our content creators. Means a lot to me, man. Thank you. Thank you. I have an adorable kitty sleeping in front of me. Waiting in queue. I think while we wait in queue, we're just going to go into practice mode. Oh, never mind. We found someone. We found someone. Is it Owlcat? AKA Yoshi Hunters? Let's check and find out. Genos. All right, with a Jaspite. I'm a fan of Jaspite. Okay, okay. Really bad opener. We don't need to do anything. Much better opener. Things just got a lot better. Are you for real? All right. All right. Consistency is what wins games, and this is consistent. And that's consistent. I'm not saying it's not, because it is. Because it's consistent. It's consistent. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's no interactivity to this. This needs to be changed where it shuts off after your opponent drops below 15. I think that's fair. I think that's fair to do. I really do. I think that would be a great addition to the card to make it interactive. Because now the only people that are running it are high-end aggro decks. Because like if you can just get 3 damage out of this card that your opponent can't interact with and it's unpenetrable, then yeah, it's an amazing card, isn't it? Turns out to be a ridiculously strong card. Ville Fusion, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. How are we doing today? Welcome to the channel. Always happy to see more friendly faces here. He could just not draw cards. Look at that! Another buff I can't interact with. Hey, I can interact with this one. I can interact with this one. Isn't that amazing? But now he's got more cards and might just not remove this buff. Or might not restart this buff. He could just lay 2 cards. Which he's built up for. And make this buff now deal 3 damage. Reduce damage from combos. That's fair. Is he going to lay another card or is he going to pass draw and restart it? Or he just does that and draws a card. A little confused about that play, actually. A little bit. I'm okay with just drawing 2 right now. Swamp Guide is so good. He's got the leech. I'll look for that one. Which 2 are you removing? The Treebark Hive and the Mantic's Hive Guard. That's fine. It did its job. It has done its job. What does Greshu do? Greshu do the thing that you do. Ooh. Those are nice cards. I also take many names. I take them down and I go, wow, that's a really good build. I appreciate that. And I jot your name down next to the deck that I like. But apparently I stream. I try and make Mimi archetype decks that eventually fail to the consistency that the game is right now. But we have fun. We have fun playing it. I think Swamp Guide's a good one to lay again. Ooh. Yeah, we'll take that. We can get back... Ooh, a Treebark Hive or a Stumpdrift Shaman, whichever one we feel is more needed. Yeah, we'll just do this. We'll just do this. We'll see what happens. If he draws cards, it restarts this, so we're good as that. But right now, just consistent damage is all we need. It's all we want right now. These Stumpdrift Shamans are great for healing. I'm really happy I drew them in my first 15 cards, 2 of them. Steadfast Beacon. All right. No, that's fair. That's fair. What would Razor Gresher do? All of the fun things. That's what he would do. think I do this. And then I pass. I pass. Oh, we got a Tree Bark Hive. Never mind. We're all good. We're the best players in the world. That's exactly what I wanted to pull back. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay. Okay, so he didn't do an action, or he didn't draw, so this goes away. That's perfectly fine on him. I do. I top deck the best. So I'll do this. And I'll Insect Swarm again. Because with Tree Bark Hive out, everything is amazing. I'm going to take 6, but I'm at 27 with another Stump Drift Shaman in hand. Also, if I lay that second Tree Bark Hive and he wants to buff removal me, you would have Bane Bloomed? I can Bane Bloom now, dude. I can Bane Bloom whenever I want. Also, I mean, that one, he is almost dead, though. Is this a defendability? It is a defendability. I could camouflage. So he can't attack me. I think that might be the play. Actually, camouflage. That's true. When my opponent has no cards in hand, it's a pretty good time to do that. God, Swamp Guide is just such a good card. Such a good card. What was PlayFusion thinking about when they made Swamp Guide? I'll tell you what. Enchanted Soil. Now that is one that Reckless Spirit is going to find a nice little home into. It's going to find a nice little home. Just really good. Just really good. Man, drawing an attack card feels pretty good right now. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Just nice consistency. It's all the deck we needed it to do. It's all that we needed it to do. And let's go ahead and realize that Swamp Guide and Tree Bark Hive and the Mantic's Hive Guard were all amazing cards in this build. They were all amazing cards. So good. So good. But yeah, we just consistent damage with Insect Swarms, Mantic's Hive Guards. We're just keeping the consistency on there. Which makes me actually want to say that Mantic's Hatchlings, we don't necessarily need these ones. These ones can actually be more attack cards. Or something else. Actually, if we Mantix Tunnelers are nice. I do like those. I do like those indeed. Do we include 2 Mantix Tunnelers and a second Spirit of Balance? Is that what we do? I'm just looking for something that's like a little more healing, because the only healing we had was Stumpdrift Shaman. And yes, it was fine. It was enough healing. The Tree Bark Hive, I also have to realize, is healing in itself too, along with the Feasting Skeetos. But I felt like we needed like just a little bit more. The Tunnelers work with Camouflage too. That's true. Camouflage, in my own sense, is just there to prevent my opponent from stop attacking me for 3 turns. It's not meant to be aggressive as well. Venom Feeders, aren't those poison? I was like, aren't those poison? But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, a Citadel Musician could be nice in here. A Citadel Musician could be nice in here too. For all the consistent damage that I'm doing, just being able to increase that, like, they're really good just in general. Leafweb Wanderer. Leafweb Wanderer really only works with my Feasting Skeetos, because it has to be an attack card. Yeah. So if I was running more insect attacks, then I'd say, yeah, Leafweb Wanderer is great. And that's what's awesome, is Leafweb Wanderer is great for an insect attack deck, where Tree Bark Hive is good for an insect buff deck. There's different archetypes where these cards fit hand in hand. Because, like, if we did take the Tunnelers out and we added in more insect attack cards, I would say I'd be okay with maybe even replacing the Spirit of Balance with those Leafweb Wanderers. That's not what they're called, though. That is not at all what they're... Maybe they are. Am I just wrong and I named it correctly the first time? I did. Wow, I'm that good. I'm getting better at names. So, like, yeah, we could take out the Spirit of Balances. And the Mantix Tunnelers. And include 2 Leafweb Wanderers. And some attack cards. It is drawing, which could be better. We are, like I said, we are just very aggressive. Probably 2 Infected Wasps. Well, that's the thing. Nature's healing options are all, like, they're not spike healing. They're micro healing through Stumpdrift Shamans and all this other stuff. But Leafweb Wanderer, I mean, at least if I have my attack cards, a lot went away with Awakening. It did. It really did. So I only have 5 cards that work with Leafweb Wanderer, but if they remove it, Tree Bark Hive gets me 3 healing, and I get to move an insect card that way. It is also drawing, which is nice. Drawing is more consistent. In that case, I don't think I need Soil Tunnelers, because if my deck is going to win by consistency, it doesn't need anything back from the discard pile. So I think I can actually toss Soil Tunneler. There is no insect unaligned, is there? There's not. There is not. And I think actually that's where I add in Citadel Musicians. I think that's where I can add in the Citadel Musicians. Because that's just a consistent damage increase and it'll increase all of my micro-ness and give me good turns. Because, yeah, Reckless Spirit will deal 4, Stumpdrift Shaman will heal for 2, 3, and 5. Treebark Hive will heal for 4 if one gets removed. Mantic's Hive Guard will hit for 4. Leafweb Wanderer will heal for 3 and 3. Like, there's just a lot more things I can do with this. Yeah. Yeah, Treebark Hive prevents a lot of stuff from being removed. Insect Swarm is just one that's there on the board. Mantic's Hive Guard. And then, of course, I have Hive Bark, where I can move 5 Insectoid cards back to my deck if I really need them to. So I can move Leafweb Wanderer, I can move the Hive Guards, I can move the Insect Swarms. I don't need Graveyard Recursion in my deck if I have one that heavy on my hero power. It's all the consistency of I need healing, which I'm getting through the Hives, the Shamans, and the Wanderers, and sometimes the Feasting Skeetos. I feel like this could be really good. It's just nice and consistent, which is what's winning games right now. Because consistency overall is the only thing we need in the game right now. So I feel like this is fine to do. Our combos don't even change that much. We have 5 attack cards in here, so if we do need to with Camouflage, we're good with that. Hivebind is whenever we play an Insectoid card. Yeah, so we have healing on that if we ever get that combo off. If we ever do, kudos to us. I don't think we ever will, but it's a really, really nice consistency card. Which actually, now that we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Yeah, we only have 5 cards that can interact with Stampede, so maybe not. I still like Beast Within. That's really good. So we'll just keep going with this. I feel like this is a good one. I feel like this will do us fine. I don't think we'll ever really win against, like, super heavy aggro. Because, like I said, we're very tempo. So if we get outrushed, we just die easily. We play a very consistent game where I feel we should win most consistent games. Because we have stuff that just stays on board. And if my opponent draws, it restarts my entire board. It does a lot of things that are just nice and fluid. But if we, like, heavy aggro, we just lose to that. We lose to heavy aggro all the time, I think. Unless we get really good Moss Ridge defenders up. Moss Ridge defenders are how we prevent our loss from aggro, because we don't have any spike healing to prevent aggro from overwhelming us. The opponent declined the match. That's a bummer. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. All right, here we go. Another Jaspite deck. Okay. Is Jaspite, like, everyone's go-to right now? Starting off with Swamp Guide is really good. We're consistent. We just want to draw cards. Actually, I think I want this one. Because if this gets killed, I can at least Swamp Guide again. 4 cards. Then I'll pass. No reason for me to Stump Drift yet, because I don't want to lose out on a lot of the healing that I could get, potentially. Also, Stump Drift with Citadel Musician is just a really good play. I didn't think that you would still be live. Freshchin, of course I'm still live. I had a bad day, I'll admit it. I do apologize for that, but I'm here. I'm going to stream. So it's just card draw. Jaspite makes us do nothing but draw me cards, but it's card draw. I'm okay with that. 2 cards right off the bat. 1, then 2. Nothing better than that. He could Crystal Leech it. If he does, kudos to him. Very nice. I like it. I like the Siphoning Construct. He gets card draw out of it as well. I am thoroughly intrigued. If he's got a Crystal Leech, I feel like that's a fine one to do. Because I can always get it back. And if I want to be more defensive, I have a defensive play the next few turns. So if he wants to Crystal Leech these, he's more than welcome to. This guy is just all about hate on combo buffs. I love it. What happens when he comes in like a combo attack and none of that happens? Is that just like what happens there? Dude, I'm going to give him the clutch. He had both of those opening hand. Both of them opening hand. You're 3-0 in a Magrock draft. Dude, that is amazing. And actually, I'm okay with doing this. It says bring it? Why? Why? What am I bringing? Sorry? Is it a Crystal Leech? Is it Crystal Leech? Hey RG made a buff Howlock deck just now. Want to try a match versus it next? Sure, man. Okay, there's the Crystal Leech. I have another Moss Ridge in the wing. If they played a combo. He says sorry. I'm really confused as to what he's sorry about. That's all. I don't think I want to lay this yet. Well, no, not yet. No cages in it. It's a good sign. Next turn I consider the Musician and a Stump Drift Shaman. Get my healing back up in a spike turn. We'll see what he does. Yeah, so if you combo attack, he can still get the draw. That's true. That's very true. He can still do that. We will hope he doesn't have another Crystal Leech. But essentially, like, this deck needs to do what it can to survive. And if he's got the removal, he's got the removal. He's been drawing quite a bit of cards off of the first combo buff and 2 Siphoning Constructs. Like, that was pretty clutch. Yeah, but it's the back-to-back Siphoning Construct that was like, wow, dude. That's insane. Yeah, he's upset that I'm healing now. Sorry. I don't think the Hive Guard is going to be that good right now. Because he's got so many cards he's not going to draw. The Insect Swarm is nice. Insect Swarm is nice. Yeah, these Citadel Musicians are so good. I might want to add a third one in here. What battle pack should I buy? Right now, this deck is using all 3 copies of all 3 of the nature ones. And it's been doing really well. The hero is the only one that I'm like, meh on. But all the nature cards other than the hero are really good. And just because I can get full heal value out of this, and it's a Citadel Musician one, I'm going to do that. Get the healing in when I can. The Dread hero is broken. The hero is broken. Well, he got fixed, but he's really good. Alaric Vexbane is really good. The action cards along with them are meh. They're not like... Is he going to rotate this one forward? Yeah, I have all the battle packs. I haven't tried out the Mountain yet. Mountain I have not tried out. Just a consistent fire elemental attack deck. Oh. I'll do this. No, Mud, me and you're the same. I got them all too. Oh, 4th of July goodies I let go. I was super upset about the way their chest was handled with it being random. You should not have to be random on those. I get healing out of it, so yeah, might as well do it now. How many insight cards do I have now? 1, 2, 3. Only 3. Okay, so I don't need to use this ability yet. He's probably just drawing until Mossridge goes away. I mean, that's what I see. That's what I see happening. Which means I probably just want to pass. Yes. Oh, please. You're immune to damage from combos while you're at 10 or less? Okay. I mean, yeah, this comes from combo damage, but... And a Mountain Fort. Okay. I'm actually okay Reckless Spiriting this. I am. I am A-okay Reckless Spiriting it. And then passing. Treebark Hive is such a good card. He might just start going ham on me right now. He might just start going ham. Which this does 14 damage. I might just do this and force him to heal. No, actually it does 12. It does 12, so we'll put him at 10. I think this is a better option. I think that's a better option to do. Make him deal damage while he's hitting me. It'll only deal 4 damage every time he hits me, but... Then I get Camouflage. Any predictions for Wave 5? Wave 5, they really have to introduce a new mechanic into the game. If they keep just doing the same cards over and over and over, I don't think it's going to be almost as impactful as anything. They need to do something that introduces something new to the game. Okay. Mountain Fort again. I can double pass here. He's probably going to... I mean, he's got to lay 2 cards the next 2 turns. He's got to start dumping his hand, or that insect just becomes really good value for me. Okay, he's restarting it. So I have 1, 2... still only 3 insect cards in my discard pile. Still only 3 insect cards. Now I have 4. But it heals me, and I'm using it for the heal. Just the consistency of it. Next turn I can, like, camouflage. Are we going to get set 5 paper cards? I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. That is the ultimate question. If Wave 5 will be printed or not. Restart that buff. Thank you very much. And actually, in all honesty, I can wait a little bit. I don't need to camouflage now. I don't need to do it now. He's only blown 1 buff removal. And if he wants to start attacking me and get me low, then I can camouflage into Stumpdrift Shaman and all this healing. I just got to be consistent, is all I need to do. I think I camouflage now. That way I can Stumpdrift Shaman and get my healing back up. I'd even be okay laying Insect Swarm next turn too, just to get more consistent damage on board. I feel like if we had digital tournaments in this game, a lot more people worldwide would play. Because competition is what drives a game. Boulder Feast? Is that all 3 Boulder Feasts now? All 3 Boulder Feasts, all 3 Mountain Forts. 1, 2... Nope, just 2 Boulder Feasts, but all 3 Mountain Forts are gone. 2 Flame Bats are gone. How many of my... I think I've used 2 of my... Yeah, Swamp Guides. 2 of my Swamp Guides are done. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 insect cards back in my deck now. I'll just draw. He's got a lot of cards in hand. Leafweb Wanderer into Infected Wasp is okay. Heal for a little bit, draw a card. I wonder what he's doing. Like, obviously he couldn't attack, so it was really... Like, he's got to start laying cards, right? He's got to start laying cards. Okay, there's healing. Does he lay another card so this can't restart? Oh, he might even spin this forward. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Interesting. Interesting. He might just start blowing me out now. He might just start blowing me out right now. I've blown through a lot of my healing. And as long as he has enough cards to just keep laying, yeah, I think he wins this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have one more insect attack card in the deck. Setting up an Inferno. I could see that. I could easily see that. Like, I could just be dead. I don't think there's any way I win this. Yep. Mountain just has a lot of spike damage. And I have no real spike damage to compete with his Boulder Feasts and his Flame Bats. Can we go ahead and see that? Boulder Feasts, Flame Bats. Cards that have been good for 2 years. I'm going to go ahead and look at his deck. I'm going to look at his deck, and I'm going to show you. Hold on, bud. 1 sec. I'm going to look here. Crushing Blow. Inferno. Wave 1. These are all new, but essentially, like, they're covering for the wave ones that got rotated out. Boulder Feast, wave 1. Crystal Bat, wave 1. Crystal Leech, wave 1. Flame Bat, wave 1. Mountain Fort, wave 1. Umbran Informant, wave 1. That's what? 3, 6, 9, 12, 18. 18 of the 21 cards are from wave 1. 18. Like, yeah. And the only reason he's not running more is because a lot of them got rotated out. And it's all just consistency, consistent in attack damage, with healing and defense from wave 1. Generic healing, generic defense. It's... You can't be upset. The dude, like... And then his combos are his huge hits. 11 damage. Volcanic Eruption is essentially Wrath of the Mountain for 12. Invocation of Flames is just an improved Stream of Tantos. Probably to pay for these two easier and Inferno easier. Pyroclastic Blast is a That 12 damage one. It's just like all of it's his heavy hitting damage, and it's just consistent attack damage while defending and healing. That's all it is. You can't be upset by it because it is what it is. It's just like, dude, I could probably build a deck of all Awakening cards and it would do really well. All right, let's try this. Let's try this. Where did it go? Insect Wave 5. Let's try it. Let's try this. But yeah, that's what I mean by that's why these cards need to be rotated out. Is because there's no reason to run other cards when the Wave 1 cards are all you ever play, or all you ever need to play. Of course. The Mud Turtle Special. Good thing I got that, right? Woo. Good thing I got that. Just deal one and pass. Lava pools? I'm intrigued. Yeah. Am I streaming at the con? I don't have a mobile stream set up, so no. I might do something like... I'll be on Instagram and Twitter and post pictures and whatnot. If my phone can do a live thing, then I'll try that. If PlayFusion has a setup, then we'll see. I might. I played that wrong. I played that wrong. Yes, you did. I instantly removed it with my first Reckless Spirit. I instantly did that. Alright, he's got to have a Crystal Leech in there somewhere. He's got to have one, right? Like, he's got to have one. You forgot it doesn't have Fire Superior. Oh no, Mud! I gotta redo the Dead Rise campaign. Oh no. Time to rework it. Yeah, I saw the Flame Hurler, and I was like, okay, we'll see. Maybe he's got Flame Claws in the deck, and then just nothing. The Lava Pools was there, and it's like, okay. I liked it because it had a lot of locations, and that was really cool. One sec. If you want to go again, Mud, I'll play you again. If you rework the deck. All right, we'll do it again. RG has a spirit, though. Every single time, but... I don't know how. I don't know why. But always against you. I start with a buff removal. You are gonna hate me all the time. Does he have the leech? No, he has the Mountain Breaker. All right. Does he have the leech still? No? Okay. Think what I'm thinking, guys? You thinking what I'm thinking? No combo mode, I'm sorry. No combos. It's gonna be a long day. Another Mountain Breaker. Alright. Alright. This is... If he removes any of my insect buffs, I get to heal for 9 and draw 3 insect cards now. That's what's happening. Oh, he's gonna kill me when he sees this. He's gonna kill me! Mud! Mud, I am so sorry. Recarving. That a boy, Mud. I'm fine. There's the Skybeam. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Something tells me Mud might remove something soon. It's getting close to that time, yeah. And a Boulder Feast. Okay. That's fair to do. Okay. Ooh, I like that play. I like that play. Dealing 10 damage. Not a bad play, man. Not a bad play. I think I'm fine. I need... That's a good one. I wish I had that sooner. I forgot I need to add 3 of those in the deck. I could be dead. He could have attack cards. Draga Scorcher. Okay. And a Boulder Feast. Healing for 4. I have the absolute disgusting board state right now. Because he's got to draw a card, which restarts my Insect. The thing is, I could easily just get blown out because I have no healing. But I could just win. That was a close game, Mud. Drew 0 leeches. Dude, I was waiting for you to leech something. I was waiting for you to leech something. The moment you leech one of my insects, you could have leeched my Hive Guards, or my Hive Trees. If you drew a Leech, I was going to heal for 9 and draw 3 insects. That was stupid fun. Dude, I'm so sorry, man. I am so sorry. Yeah, when I got Skybeam back. Yeah. No, yeah, if I healed for 9 and I get Skybeam, more power to you. Oh, but yeah, that was awesome. That was definitely fun. All right, guys. I'm going to take a short break here. That was great. Yoshi Hunters, you know, we provide the best value here. I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to get some water, use the bathroom again. I'll be back in a few minutes here. We're probably going to keep playing with this insect deck. I really like the way it plays because it is just consistent. And of course, every game is really close, which feels good. But I do feel like I need to go in here and add a third Citadel Musician. I just don't know what I would really take out because I do need healing. I do need more healing in this. I need healing and I need card. Or I don't necessarily need card draw, because the Tree Bark Hive draws me, Swamp Guide draws me, Leaf Web Wanderer draws me. But like I need more healing. You know what I mean? So maybe I need to actually add in more just insect attack cards. Do I take the Musicians out and add in more insect attack cards to work with Leaf Web Wanderers? Is that what I do? It is card draw and it is healing, but there's not a lot of cards in here that do it, and I need consistency. So maybe actually the Leaf Web Wanderers aren't that good, and I try and find something that is just healing. Because actually in this, if I take these out and add in 2 Umbron Barkeeps, those are 2 healing and 2 card draw, which is essentially what I was going to get regardless. So actually that might be the best thing to do for this deck, is to add in Umbron Barkeeps. Just for card draw and healing. Just a little bit of healing. And if that's the case, I don't need an infected wasp. I need another Citadel Musician, because those are going to be really clutch. Because like essentially I want my board to be very powerful, and then the moment they get rid of like my insect buffs with Tree Bark Hive is when I look for like a Feasting Skeetos or just an attack card and hit them at the end, you know? We have tried a Wrathstar deck using that Wave 5 card yet. I have not, because I haven't tested Mountain yet. I'm still messing with insects, which actually when I come back, we'll test Mountain. This insect deck looks pretty fun. So I'll leave it here. Well, I'll leave it up on... Well, I mean, I'm going to go away so I can look at some stuff. But we will look at the Mountain when I come back. But I'm going to take a quick break here. So 1 second, guys. Don't go anywhere.